Hey everybody, it's Stock Picks by Tim, and I am back again to talk about some stock picks. I've got 5 stocks for you to put on your radar, keep an eye on. Now this video is going to be kind of short. I've got to go to a BMX game for my son, but don't forget, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and make sure you check out the links below for some free crypto and stocks. And let's first off talk about a stock I haven't mentioned in this channel at all. And this is going to be Apple stock, or AAPL, and I don't believe I've talked about this one. Now, if it comes down under 140, it's starting to get very interesting to me to purchase. First off, I see it if it breaks 140 as a breakout trade to the downside, i.e. a put. If we break 140, we have it here as a support, again as a support here. It was a resistance previously, so I do expect if we break it, it will become a resistance again. And if we do break 140, I expect us to see the 135s, if not as low as 130. So I recommend you keep an eye on Apple. It is quite away from its top at about 180. And I think if you're a long-term investor, it's still a good dip buy where it's at, but I want to see it under 140 personally. But let me know in the comments below what large caps you guys are watching. And let's move on to the next stock. And this one's going to be AMD Advanced Micro Devices stock. Now, like I've said before, if it's under 100, I see it as a great time for a long-term investor to buy. However, that being said, you could potentially wait until it comes back under $90 if it does. And if we come down to 82, we could play a breakout down under 82 or potentially break out from the 180. So I am watching this one still for some breakouts. And as for the upside, if we do break 100, I do expect a little bit of a breakout rally, but we will see where it goes from there. We are still a ways from 100, and we are still a ways from 82. So if you are going to play those breakout trades, just keep an eye on the RSI. Make sure it's got some room to run and actually break out. Otherwise, you might be too close on the RSI to overbought, and you break out, and there's not enough buyers to keep it going. People start selling off, that RSI is too high, or on the inverse, you're playing some puts, and it's just too oversold. So keep an eye on that RSI. Make sure if you are going to play breakout, I'd say you want to be somewhere in that neutral area so you can actually push in and let it move a bit. But I definitely see AMD stock as a great long-term stock to own. And next up, I want to get into my highest conviction, semiconductor, and this one actually just gave out earnings. If you guys are familiar with this channel, you know I'm about to talk about Indi. And with this one, you might want to wait because we just went on an absolute run. We gained 32% on Friday. So I would wait personally. If you're really wanting to get into this one, I would wait. However, that being said, while it's under 10, I still think it is a great time to add if you're a long-term investor. I really do believe in Indi. They have the best executive team out there. I highly urge you, really guys, I highly urge you, find me a better executive team. Look at Indi's executive team and find me someone that is at least that experienced in terms of the whole executive team, or find me just someone with better experience. I urge you to do that. But speaking of Indi, this one hit the low 5s, just started blasting off, and now we're very close to $7. Their earnings came out, they absolutely knocked it out of the park. They expect profitability by mid-2023, and their revenue will continue to increase. They actually expect $100 million in revenue year over year, starting, I believe, the next quarter. So they are just ramping up on their revenue. They've got a huge backlog of orders. Team to beat. I'm telling you guys, I highly recommend, of all these stocks in this list, look into Indi, really look into it. And next, I want to talk about another stock that I'm extremely bullish on, and that's going to be ChargePoint, or Chpt. Now, I personally think it is a great opportunity to get into ChargePoint, and even greater if you can catch it under $10. And this one hasn't had a huge run like Indi did. I think ChargePoint is a great time to get in with this one. And honestly, being a long-term investor, I'm okay with buying this all the way up to $20, slowly but surely just adding to it. I'm extremely bullish on the long term for EVs. You might not be as bullish as I am, but I do believe that EVs are the future. And I believe that ChargePoint will be the market leader, and they will remain that way. Now, yes, as competition improves, as competition grows, ChargePoint will have a less percentage of that pie, but that slice of pie will be larger as the EV infrastructure grows overall. So I do believe that ChargePoint will be a massive contender in the EV space. And I do expect their next earnings to be roughly in the line of about $100 million in revenue. The last one was in the $80 million area. So I expect a continued increase in revenue for this foreseeable future. And it's been that way over the last 4 earnings calls. I've stuck around with ChargePoint for each earnings call over the last 3 or 4 times. I was with ChargePoint back when it was SBE. But let me know in the comments below, guys, if you were with ChargePoint, or if you even knew what ChargePoint was back when they were a SPAC, back when they were SBE, Switchback Electric. Crazy times back then. Let's get into the next stock pick. And I'm sure you guys are very surprised that I want to talk about Cleanspark, but I think it's pretty important right now. We did have a huge run, like a 20-something, 28% run. Same with Indi. Both of these just had an exponential run. And I forgot to mention that I've got the earnings for Cleanspark and Indi in the description below for you guys, so check those out. Small caps were doing good. Small caps had a nice 5-10% day, but Indi and Cleanspark blew it out of the water. I mean, 30% day, both of them. So to me, that tells me everything I need to know about Cleanspark and Indi. Once we get that reversal, these ones I think will move massively, and this is just the start. That being said, you might want to wait for it to pull back. We were literally just under $5. Earnings wasn't as favorable as I hoped. Revenue was a little less than I expected. They didn't see a huge increase in revenue quarter over quarter, like has been the typical case. I definitely still have high conviction in Cleanspark. However, with Bitcoin coming down, if Bitcoin does stagnate, it will be rough waters for Cleanspark over the next couple of months. However, on the long term, when you're looking a year out, 2 years out, Cleanspark I think will 4x or more easily. Now you might want to watch this one this week, look for it to pull back a little bit before getting in. It did just run up almost 30%, so you might want to wait on this one. I see it as a great time to get in while it's under 10, and I am honestly surprised that it's under $10 right now. That's it for today, guys. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thanks so much, and I will see you next time.